Greetings, boys and girls. It is now time for math. We're having fun learning math today. Math today is fun. We learn from our success. We learn from everyone. We're having fun learning math today. Math today is fun. We learn from our success. We learn from everyone. We're learning to think. Think today. Thinking today is fun. Thinking helps solve problems. Solving problems helps everyone. We're learning to think. Think today. Thinking today is fun. Thinking helps solve problems. Solving problems helps everyone. Can you read our learning target with me? I can use strategies to help me solve word problems about money. At this time, it is time for a video.
That looks gross, Moby. Are you sure you want that? Do you have enough money? We better count your coins to find out. You've got a lot of different coins. That coin is called a penny. What is a penny? Well, it's copper-colored, and it has Abraham Lincoln on its head, and the Lincoln Memorial on its tail. A penny is worth 1 cent. We can add the pennies up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 cents. But there are other coins here too. What is a nickel? Here's a nickel. It's bigger than a penny and it's silver colored. There's another president on its head, Thomas Jefferson. And that's his home on the tail. A nickel is worth 5 cents. That means 1 nickel is equal to 5 pennies. We can count by fives to add the nickels. How many nickels do you have, Moby? Okay, so you have 4 nickels. Now we can count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have 4 nickels, or 20 cents. But we still have other coins to count. What is a dime? A dime looks like this, with Franklin Roosevelt on its head, and a torch on its tail. A dime is worth 10 cents. There's a lot of ways to make 10 cents. I could use 10 pennies, or I could use 2 nickels. Or I could just use 1 dime. We can count by tens to figure out how much our dimes are worth. Let's see. We have 4 dimes, so that's 10, 20, 30, 40 cents. There's 1 more coin here. What is a quarter? Well, this is a quarter, 'cause there's George Washington on the head, and that's an eagle on the tail. Some quarters have a state on their tail instead of an eagle. A quarter is worth 25 cents. That's the same as 25 pennies. Or 5 nickels. But not all money is coins. What are bills? A slice of this, delicious cake costs $1. That's a lot of money. Are you sure you really want it? But $1 is worth 100 pennies, or worth 20 nickels, or 10 dimes. Well, I do have this. This is a $1 bill. Hey, it's George Washington again. He's on the front, and it says 1 on the back. Hey!
All right, boys and girls, that was a review of money, our bills and our coins. Today, we're going to be solving word problems with only bills or larger amounts of money. No coins today. But before we begin solving those problems, let's go back to something that we use when we're solving word problems. Do you remember this, boys and girls? It's the part total picture. Sometimes when we're solving word problems, the word problem will give us the total amount. That's like a whole apple that hasn't been cut apart. The problem will then give us part of the total amount. That's just like cutting the apple apart. And you know one part or amount, but you don't know the other amount. The other amount is what you have to figure out. Remember in class, boys and girls, we drew a square just like this, a line down to the center, and then a line going across. And we wrote part, total to remind us of our total amount of an apple and our two parts of an apple. Well, let's use what we remember to solve the problem on the next slide. Can you read this problem with me? And then help me find and underline the key words or the most important words and numbers? Here we go. Starlet Love saved a total of $70 in November and December. Can you help me underline the key words? All right, total is a key word, and here it is here. So we know the total amount of money Starlet Love saved. She saved $70 in November and December. So let's go ahead and draw our box. If you don't have a pencil and paper yet, please pause the video and get one. Then unpause the video and follow along. Remember, this is our part total square. So go ahead and write P for part, another P for the other part, T for total. Notice this square or rectangle is the entire distance across both squares. That shows you that this is the total amount, and these two amounts are just parts of the total, or the total cut into different sections. So how much money was Starlet Love's total amount? How much did she save in total? That's right, $70. So we're going to write the number 70 in the box that says total. Now, can you help me finish reading the problem and underlining keywords? Here we go. If she saved $34 in December, how much did she save in November? Can you help me underline the keywords? That's right. Saved $34 in December. Boys and girls, they have given us one part of this total amount. So let's write 34 in the box that says part. And if you would like to write a D for December, you can. Then it says, how much did she save in November? So I'm going to underline how much and November. Do we know the other part of this problem? No, we don't. Do you remember what we write when we don't know the number? That's right. Please write a question mark. And if you'd like to write the letter N above the question mark for November, you can. Now, boys and girls, remember, if we add 34 plus the number that we do not know, our total would be 70. But since we don't know the other number to add to 34, then we're going to have to subtract. We're going to have to do the opposite of adding. We're going to have to take this total amount, $70, and cut apart the 34. Cut part of it off to see how much is left. When you're cutting something apart, that means you're separating it or making it smaller or subtracting. So we're going to subtract 70 minus 34. Boys and girls, remember the strategy that we use in class for subtracting? We use a number line. So go ahead and draw your number line. Then we count up to subtract. That means we start from the smaller number and count up to the larger number. Remember, it's easier to count up than it is to count backwards sometimes. That way, we don't miss any numbers. So what number do we start with if we're counting up from the smallest to the largest number? That's right, we start with 34. And what number are we going to stop on? Yes, we're going to stop on 70. Now, 34 is not a friendly number. That means it's not easy to skip count from 34. We do know that numbers that end in 5 or 0, with 5 or 0 in the ones place, are friendly numbers. So let's make a ones place jump. Plus 1. What is 34 plus 1? Remember, boys and girls, if you're having trouble counting, you can always draw the number 34 with base 10 blocks. 30, 10, 20, 30, 4. 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add another ones cube to our picture. What is 34 plus 1, boys and girls? That's right, it's 35. And guess what? I see a 5 in the ones place, so now 35 is a friendly number. So whenever there's a 5 in the ones place, let's count by 5s. Let's do a 5s jump. So we're going to make a 5s jump here, plus 5. Boys and girls, are you following along with me using your own pencil and paper? I hope so. Now, we can count by 5s and see what's after 35, and we can also add 5 more base 10 blocks to our picture. Whichever strategy works best for you, I want you to do that strategy. I like to count by 5s. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. What's 5 more than 35? 40. That's right. And if we look at our base 10 drawing, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 X's. Remember, 10 is the magic number. 10 ones equals a tens rod. So we're going to cross those out, take it to the bank, and regroup or exchange it for a tens rod. So here we also have 4 tens rods, or 40. So our numbers still match. Boys and girls, let's look at the number 40. This is also a friendly number, but this time it ends in zeros. Remember in class, boys and girls, when we have a number that ends in 0, we just start counting by tens. We skip count by tens until we get close to our answer. So let's go ahead and make a tens jump. Plus 10. So let's add another tens rod here. 40 plus 10 more is, that's right, 50. Boys and girls, we're almost up to 70. Let's make another tens jump since 50 also ends in a 0. Plus 10. Okay, let's add another tens rod to our base 10 blocks. 50 plus 10 is, that's right, boys and girls, 60. Now let's make another tens place jump. Plus 10 because 60 ends with a 0. There's a 0 in the ones place. Let's add another tens rod here to our picture. 60 plus 10 more is, that's right, 70. And boys and girls, we can stop there because 70 is our total amount. Now, in order to find our missing number, remember, we have to count the skip jumps that we made. We have to add everything at the top together. Remember, boys and girls, it's easier to count your larger numbers first and then your smaller numbers. So let's start with our tens. Can you help me count? Here we go. 10, 20, 30. 30 plus 5 is 35. 35 plus 1 more is 36. Boys and girls, our missing number is 36. 34 and 36, when you put them together, equal 70. Remember, boys and girls, you can always check your own answer by adding your answers together, your answer with your other part, to see if you get your total. Remember, you can draw your base 10 blocks, 3 tens and 4 ones, and then 3 tens and 6 ones. Add them together and see if you get 70. I'm sure you will. Now, boys and girls, it's time to try a problem on your own. I want you to make sure you have your pencil and paper ready. Read the problem, find the key words, draw your part total picture, count up for subtraction, and solve your problem. After your problem has been solved, please unpause the video and see if you were right. Have fun! All right, boys and girls, let's see if our answers will match. First, the key words were total, $40 in September and October. So Hanyeli saved a total of $40 in September and October. So total is the key word. So we know that our total goes at the bottom here in the larger rectangle. Then it said if she saved $22 in September, how much did she save in October? So we know part of the total was $22. We just don't know what the other part was. What do we do when we know the total and one of the parts? Yeah, that means that we cut off part of this total. We cut the apple. When you cut something apart, you're making it smaller. That means you're subtracting, you're taking away. So we need to subtract 40 minus 22. But when we subtract, we know a strategy. We can count up for subtraction. That means start from the smaller number and count up to the larger number. We use a number line in class for this. Remember, boys and girls? So we're going to start at 22 and stop at 40. Hopefully your number line looks like mine. 22 is not a friendly number, so we're going to keep jumping ones or making ones jumps until we get to a friendly number. That's a number with a 5 or a 0 in the ones place. Here we go. 22 plus 1 is 23. 23 plus 1 is 24. 24 plus 1 is 25. Up, there's our friendly number. Whenever there's a 5 in the ones place, then jump a 5 so we can get to a tens place number. Okay, 25 plus 5 is 30. Now we have a 0 in the ones place, and now we can jump a tens if it doesn't go over our total. Remember, we don't want to go above our total amount. So 30 plus 10 more is 40. We made it to the total. Now, remember, we have to count our skip jumps to see what our answer is. Starting with our larger number. Here we go. Help me count. 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Your answer, boys and girls, should be $18. She saved $18 in October. Remember, you can check your own answer by adding up the top two numbers to see if they are the same as the total. And they are. All right, boys and girls. Continue to have fun with math at home by using your Math Workbook Volume 2, pages 483 to 518. These pages are dealing with money. Remember, you only have to complete 1 or 2 pages at a time. After that, you can log into MobyMax or Freckle and continue to practice your math skills online if you have a computer or a cell phone. MobyMax works well with a cell phone. This will help you practice more math skills, and the computer will check your answers for you. Okay, boys and girls, have fun learning.